Hello everyone, this is a review on how to solve one-step equations. Remember, when you solve a one-step equation, you are using inverse operations every step of the way, right? Opposite of what you see, and always try to isolate the variable. And that means to get the variable alone. You're always working away from the variable with the one-step equation and two-step equation all the time. So we're going to go through those steps right now. So for number one, we're looking at y minus 10 equals 22. And why this is easy and why they call it one-step equation is because it takes one step and you're finished with solving. So you see this variable right here? At the end, you're going to have that variable alone, y equals. So this minus 10, the opposite, you're going to use the inverse operation to bring this 10 over to the 22, passing an equal sign. And when you pass that equal sign, remember, you have to use inverse operations. So the opposite of minus 10 is positive 10. And that's why you're adding 10 to that side. And the way you do this is that you're adding 10 on both sides. And remember, it's kind of like a seesaw. You have to keep that balance. What you do on one side of the equation, you have to do on the other. So once you add 10 to both sides, you draw a nice big line like that for yourself, and the 10s cancel. Negative 10 and positive 10 equals 0. The y is the only thing that is left on that left side, and you have 22 plus 10, and that's 32, and you are finished solving that equation. Going over to this side, this is number 2. This is a one-step equation also, but it's equal to a negative. So x plus 3 equals negative 8. Still, you're looking at this variable. I want your eyes right here. All right, you're saying, all right, this side, I have this side that I have to work on. This plus 3 is attached onto that side, and now we are going to look to use inverse operations to get this 3 over to the negative 8. So the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. Opposite of plus 3 is negative 3. And remember, if you subtract 3 on one side, you must subtract 3 on the other. This cancels out because that equals 0. X comes down, equals, and negative 8 minus 3. Negative 8 minus 3. So we're going to put a negative 8 minus 3. Enter, and that is a negative 11. Remember, no matter what calculator you're using, you could use this calculator, you could use this calculator, TI-84, you could use the TI-34. It is negative, there's the negative button, 8 minus the 3. And that's equal to a negative 11. Either way, negative 11 is your answer. All right, so just going down to number 3, this is a one-step equation too. But your eyes are over here. Remember what I told you, look over to where the variable is. You have to get that alone. So what operation, this is what I want you to ask yourself, what operation is the 3 and the y, what does this have in between that attaches that 3 to the y? What operation is that? Is it addition? I don't see a plus sign. Is it subtraction? No. It is multiplication. What is the opposite of multiplication? To undo multiplication, you have to do the opposite, which is division. So the way we write division is a fraction symbol. If you do it on one side, you have to divide by 3 on the other. By the way, you always divide by the number that is next to the variable, which is the coefficient. So the 3's cancel because 3 divided by 3 is 1, and y comes down, and you get 36 divided by 3, and that is 12. So y equals 12. Number 4, you have negative 8x equals 64. Remember, your eyes are over here on that left-hand side. What is attached to the x, and how is it attached? What operation? So that negative 8 is attached to that x by multiplication. What is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So that's why you divide by negative 8, whatever the number is. You do not change the sign. A lot of people want to go change the sign there. You don't want to change the sign because, again, you want that negative 8 to cancel out with the other negative 8. Negative 8 divided by negative 8 is 1. That cancels out, and you have isolated the variable. 64 divided by negative 8. Remember, always use your calculator. 64 divided by negative 8. 64 divided by negative 8. You could put it in that way, and you can press it, and you get negative 8 as your answer. Always check on the calculator, no matter how easy you think it is. And for the last type of one-step equation, we have x over 3 equals 12. So now, how do we do this? Where are your eyes looking? Right on that left side. So you have x over 3. What operation attaches that x and 3? What operation is this fraction? Yes, it is division. And what is the opposite of division? It's multiplication. So again, you're going to multiply by the reciprocal of 1 over 3, which is 3 over 1. I am not going to put the 3 over 1. I'm just going to multiply by 3 and multiply by 3. Just realize that if I put a 1 underneath here and I put a 1 underneath here, it's not going to change the answer at all. It's really like multiplying by the reciprocal, but here it is. They cancel. Look, the 3's cancel. The x is left alone, and 12 times 3 is 36. All right, so just remember, whenever you have a fraction, to get rid of that fraction, you multiply it by the reciprocal, and the fraction will go away. The x, the variable, will be alone, and that is the name of the game right there. So, thank you for watching.